everybody. Saturday for USAF Universal Sports Action Runs Network. This is the network. You're in the sports desk, but of course, the show is named the Sports Variety Show. So, welcome to the Sports Variety Show, everybody. We are in the thick of things in sports. We've got a lot to cover. So we should dive right in and start with the trade deadline. Today is the trade deadline as well as Election Day. So make sure you go out and vote today for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. And make sure your voice is heard with your vote as well. You probably saw if you didn't see my tweet earlier this morning, I put out a tweet about it. Using one of Kamala Harris's famous quotes as well. So make sure you check that out. We have several things to talk about. So let's dive right in to talking about the NFL trade deadline. We have the Lions have required Za'Darius Smith from the Browns. The Lions only had the one sack over the last two games, including just this past weekend against my Green Bay Packers. And yes, the Packers lost to Detroit at home in the rain. And that's an interesting thing to do. Because Jordan Love, yes, in his fifth year as our quarterback. Second year as our starter. And yeah, he's already last year it was up to this point when he finds some things around. This year, he's learning how to play injured. That's right. Just like Brett Favre done it and Aaron Rodgers has done. Even though Aaron Rodgers is with the Jets, and the Jets are not doing buckets right now. Yeah, they had a good win weeks ago on a Thursday night game. I believe it was a Thursday night game or Monday night game, one of the two. But anyway, let's talk about the trade deadline. And then I do a little bit more of that. So let's see here. The Bengals fans, let's see, let me pull out some trades here. Yes, of course, the Jets did pick up not so long ago former Packer and Rodgers' buddy. But let's go into more of I see the Cowboys have made a move themselves, requiring. Let me do it like this. Yeah, according to let me backpedal here. There is sources to the Lions landed Darius Smith before the trade deadline. Looks like they got a good play out of Cleveland with the first place Lions. This could help them out for sure. I know they have some guys that are been injured and banged up. A few that have been traded. I know that him. Let me pull up the. Okay, let's do this. And the Cowboys did make a trade for a fourth rounder from the Carolina Panthers, Jonathan Mingo. Jonathan Mingo has been acquired by the Dallas Cowboys, wide receiver, and a pick of the 2025 draft, which will be in Green Bay, Wisconsin, today, according to ESPN. And my sources as well, or ESPN as well. Okay, let's see what else we have in the trade deadline pool. But I know that was a pretty big choice. And I know Jerry Jones is happy about that pick. Because the Cowboys have been kind of somewhat pretty thin in the wide receiver room. You got a good number in there, but a good number of them have been banged up for a fact. And let's see here. I'm just using all my devices here so I get everything correctly for everybody out there. And I've heard that My boy Bryce Young is finally playing. He's doing pretty well. I hope he's doing better than he used to. Well, before he got benched last year. And of course, we got Joe Flacco playing now. Since let me see, Colts. Yeah, and the Colts actually the Texans have beaten the Colts only by 3 in their last game. Let's see here. Anthony Richardson was. This is according to yesterday to ESPN that Anthony Richardson is a long shot to reclaim his QB1 role with the Colts. And of course, the quarterback is Joe Flacco now. Anybody would not be taking that spot when Joe Flacco is your QB. Joe Flacco is Joe Flacco. I remember when he was with Baltimore doing his thing. And then, of course, he bounced around the league along with Cleveland. Like a year ago, he was with Cleveland. Years ago, yeah, in Cleveland. And now he's with the Colts as a starter. How many teams he's going to go until he gets another ring? That's my question. When will Joe Flacco get another Super Bowl ring? Or get a Super Bowl ring? And what team will he be with? Would he have to go to the Buccaneers like Tom Brady did to get his next one? Hey, it was a while before Brady got his last ring, before he retired. And hey, at least somebody finally picked up the microphone and became an analyst. And he's doing okay. He's doing okay as an analyst. He could do better. Hey, he went to college, but he didn't go into broadcasting. The only reason he's in broadcasting now because he played in the NFL for so many years. Hey, and that is the true thing, actually, about football players. They end up going into broadcasting, even if they don't have the degree in broadcasting, because they know the game of football. He's not the only one. I believe Michael Irvin did that. Of course, Terry Bradshaw, Michael Strahan, for the crew on Fox, along with Howie Long. Let's see who else. Greg Olsen of the Bears. Well, I think he's a Bear. Greg Olsen for sure. RG3. I think he's doing that for college though, but yeah. Tony Romo's doing it for CBS. Troy Aikman for sure, along with Joe Buck. And of course, the Manning brothers, Peyton and Eli, with the Eli cast, with the Manning cast. And I saw a little bit of yesterday's episode, last night's episode of the Manning cast, when Eli literally did a handstand. I wasn't sure if he could even do that, let alone do that without a helmet on. Dude, be careful. You only got one job, man, and that's to entertain us on Monday Night Football. What do you do after the off season? What, going to your handstands? Anyway, also, okay, this is what I got so far on the deadline. I will do some shorts on that, or more on the deadline, but don't forget today is the deadline for the NFL. And when I get more news, I will give that to you. So, with that, I was going to talk a little bit about another thing I got right here. According to Fox Sports, as of 12 hours ago, this time last night, that Clayton Kershaw has declined his $10 million option with the Dodgers to become a free agent. So, there are several teams that are going to be looking at him. I will give you a few, but I got to do my homework first. But hey, I got a lot more to talk about here on the sports variety show. So we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to talk about an upset live from last night, from yesterday afternoon in women's hoops. That's right, basketball is back for college for men and women. We'll talk about that. Talk about an NIL deal by a guy named AJ, a high schooler in Utah. And of course, we're going to go in depth on college football. That's the main thing on today's show is college football, because we got a bunch of games and playoff implications to go with that. So we'll be back on the other side. Our sponsored by Concrete Ability. We'll be right back. And I do want to thank everybody for being a sponsor. If you want to be a sponsor, I will have finally got a little more money so I can get my business cards ordered. So I'll have those this weekend. Until then, I'll be right back on the other side. Okay, we are back here on the Sports Variety Show with the eSave Network and the Sports Desk. We got several things to keep going on. We're going to talk about the Ole Miss women's basketball team. We have actually the first upset of the year in college hoops. That's right, USC. Nearly upsets USC. Ole Miss women's basketball nearly upsets number 3 USC 68-66. Overcome a 15-point deficit to come and win it. It looks like will be playing number 10 Arkansas in Pine Bluff. November the 10th. So make sure you add that to your calendar, everybody. Make sure you add that to your calendar for that game. Also, we found this, as AJ, a high school kid named AJ Dallas Spencer. I do apologize if I can't see your name right. He has a United idea for $4 million with Nike. Talking about some serious charter for a high school kid. I'm not sure if the money going directly to him or his parents, because I know he's only a kid, a teenage boy. He's 6'9" forward, and yeah, this is a basketball guy. Him and his dad are both excited to be a part of the Nike family. Him and his dad. I wonder who his dad is. Actually. So let's find out who that guy is. And this is high school, is a Utah Prep student athlete. So yeah, that is interesting to know about that. Okay. Now let's talk about what I really want to talk about on today's show. College football. Yeah, we do know basketball is going on. Just started in college hoops. And as well as yesterday was a Marquette win. It looks like. First off, I will put this graphic up if I can. Like, if the things are out, I will put, I can send this. It's the way of how the brackets will go for the new 12-team playoff. There'll be 14, 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 teams will play, and 4 teams will wait the bye. Once those 8 teams play each other, the bowl games that will be used in the playoff will be the Rose Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Peach Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, and the Sugar Bowl. I think that's right. I think that, to me, that actually is the right way to put it, the right bowl games to use for those games. Because those are the New Year's Eve games. Big New Year's Eve games on prime time. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day games. And on prime time as well. So I think they finally got this correct for the 12 teams. The right bowl games for the 12-team playoff expansion. Anyway, let's get into the college football. We have a slate of games we're going to talk about. And, of course, we got a big Alabama game coming up as well with LSU. And, yes, ESPN College Game Day will be down there. I know one of my friends will be down there with SEC Nation. And, of course, another friend of mine with ESPN Radio Madison that I'm a part with my work at ESPN Radio Madison with our Milwaukee affiliate. Jen Lada will be there, I believe. And, of course, Jen Lada always does great work for College Game Day as well as our Milwaukee affiliate of ESPN. I wonder what story she's going to be doing this Saturday on College Game Day with, of course, Heisman Trophy himself, Desmond Howard, Lee Corso with his pick of the mascot, known as the headgear pick. Lee Corso, him, and of course Pat McAfee himself, Reese Davis, good Coach Street, and of course the man himself, Alabama, and an LSU guy, a former LSU coach and a former Alabama coach, Nick Saban. And this is going to be fun. With College Game Day this weekend in Baton Rouge. Because it's been a while since Saban has been to LSU. Now this is going to be his first time to LSU since he retired, actually. That's right. This is Nick Saban's first time to go to Baton Rouge for a Bama Tigers game in Death Valley not as a coach, actually, as a sports ESPN analyst. So I am definitely looking forward to watching Game Day on Saturday morning myself. And make sure you do watch College Game Day on Saturday morning, starting at 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and make sure you check it the time in your area and your local ESPN affiliate and your local ESPN TV stations. Okay, now let's dive right in here for the college football. Let me put it up right here. I have it on my phone and my laptop, so let me go here. Just get rid of a tab or two here. And the rankings have changed, actually. We have a new set of rankings out. But Ohio State did win last week against Penn State at 11 a.m. last week. This week they're taking on Purdue. That should be an easy win for them. We got Miami with Georgia Tech. That could be a little iffy. Same thing with Ole Miss and Georgia. If Ole Miss can pull off the upset, they can help Georgia. That could actually get Georgia out of the playoff contentions and put Alabama in a good spot. Same with Florida and Texas as well. Because Florida is 4-4. That could be an upsetter, but more likely, probably not. Now it's 11 a.m. game on ABC and ESPN+. Same with the Georgia and Ole Miss game. And can Indiana stay undefeated? Let's find out. You got Michigan, and Michigan still needs one more victory just to get bowl eligible. Okay, let's see here. We got Clemson and Virginia Tech. Here we go. Oregon and Maryland. Maryland and Oregon going at it. 25-point favorite on the ESPN bet. Money line. Carolina and South Carolina. Vanderbilt and South Carolina and Vanderbilt will go at it at 3:15 on Saturday. Yes, I know we know Alabama lost to Vanderbilt, but they barely beat South Carolina. Just barely got by. And Tennessee has Mississippi State. Mississippi State is not looking good. They need to at least win out for a chance of a ball game. More likely they will not get that ball game. Same with Auburn. Auburn Tigers have 3 games to win. They need to win out just to get a ball game. One loss and they won't get it. Just one loss. Washington and Penn State will get each other on 7 p.m. on Peacock. That's just Peacock, not NBC. And we have the main game, the game of the week on ESPN. The game of the week on ESPN Plus, and of course on ABC. And we got a new week, and that is the LSU Tigers and the Alabama Crimson Tide in Baton Rouge, like I said. And this is what I want to talk about. And I learned this stuff from listening to a bunch of podcasts. One of them is Graham McGaughy's podcast, All Things. There's always college football. I do love that show. I love him. He's a former Kentucky player himself. And it looks like Alabama did move up in the rankings. Yeah, at 11 now. With the win over LSU, they could actually get further up in the rankings. They could definitely play the top 10 with the win over LSU. And the LSU would drop in the top 15, maybe 15 or less. But definitely will be out of playoff contentions for LSU with a loss at home against Alabama. Also, Texas, same thing with Texas A&M because they lost as well. They had a key loss. They had a key loss against South Carolina, which would help. That helped Alabama climb up to that spot at 11. Let me go back in there because I mean, you look at the. Let me go to the SEC here, and I go to the. Here we go. Then I go to their standings because Georgia, we know the numbers. Okay, looking at their standings, there are good chances that Barry definitely going to get in. Tennessee should be able to get in. They only got the one loss. Tennessee only has the one loss in conference play. Georgia, same thing with against Bama. I see. Let me see what Georgia has next. In a second, Mississippi State, they're 7-2. So here's the thing. See, Auburn is 3-6. That can be an easy. Same with Kentucky. See, here there are 3 teams on the bottom that definitely are not going to get through to a bowl game at all. But Florida has a chance. If they could win this week and play spoiler, I think they could do it. They could at least get ranked in the top 25, but in the low 25s, the low part of the top 25, if they do. Same with Arkansas. Arkansas can play spoiler as well, because Florida plays Texas. If Florida wins, beats Texas, Texas will drop 7-2. They'll still possibly have a chance for the playoff, depending on how far they drop with the loss. Same thing with Georgia if Ole Miss pulls it off. But Georgia will be completely out because of losing to Bama. South Carolina and Vanderbilt, that could be an upset right there. I see a bunch of possible upsets here. And Bama is favored by 3 right now, but I think Bama's going to get this W. LSU and Bama have the same record of 6-2. They're going to be probably back and forth a lot. But as long as Jalen Milroe gets his legs going and is better than he has in the last several weeks, I know he did better in the last game 2 weeks ago, but I think we got the bye week at the right time. We do when we do it at LSU every year. The week of Halloween, of course, the birthday of Nick Saban as well. And yes, Oklahoma could have a key. Let me see what Oklahoma has left on their roster. Yes, they have LSU. Yes, they have Oklahoma, Bama, and Missouri left. Missouri this week, and then Bama next week, and then LSU the following week. And they will probably get another win either this week or within the last 2. More likely, either against LSU or Missouri, they will get that win to get that eligibility for a bowl. But here's the thing. In the SEC, the only 2 teams that stand out past Alabama for me will be Tennessee and Vanderbilt. But Tennessee's the only one that really stands out because they're the team that's actually in the playoff rankings of the top 12. Let's see here. I know Bama had some players got banged up throughout the last several weeks. And with that bye week, we actually gotten healthier and the Miller was practicing and working on his footwork and working on his passing, making sure he's holding on to the ball right, so he doesn't, so he knows which read to go with, so he does not throw it and air it out to a point that it ends up being intercepted, or he gets a sack and fumbles the ball. We're going to continue this on the other side for a few more minutes in the lightning round. Well, actually, the lightning news. So we'll be right back on the other side, and we'll be right back on the other side, and that's my ability. Be right back. Okay, we are back here on the Sports Variety Show, as well as, of course, out at the network here, on the UCF Network. We are back. Okay, we got a few more things to talk about. We're going to get back to where we were with the college football, go right into the lightning news, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, college football. We got, like I said, on the other side, about college football, we got a lot going on. Well, I talked about the SEC. Now, how about we talk about the Big Ten? How does that sound? Because it's going to be, because the Big Ten is interesting to me. It's looking interesting this year. We know Purdue is not going to get a bowl game. We know Purdue is not going to get a bowl game at all with only one win. And they get Ohio State this Saturday at 11 on Fox. Same with the late game at 8, somewhat late game with Iowa and UCLA. Rutgers would get, it's on NBC, it's Minnesota. Minnesota is looking well with 6-3 record. We still have a couple of teams that are still undefeated in the Big Ten. That's Oregon at number 1 and number 8, Indiana. I think Oregon is definitely going to get, we know Oregon's going to be in the top 12 playoff. Same with Indiana. But hey, don't forget, not this week, but the next week, Oregon Ducks are coming into Wisconsin and taking on the Badgers. Can the Badgers actually be a trap game for Oregon? Because, yeah, I know. We were this few weeks ago when we were taking on Penn State, we were doing pretty well before Penn State ended up getting the W. And of course, last week was not as well because we were on the road. Rainy game for sure. But yeah, we only have those two teams that are still undefeated in the top 25 that are also part of the Big Ten. I think there's going to be a couple of Big Ten teams that I can think of, including Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon. Those three mainly, maybe one or two other, maybe one more of that at least. And of course, Wisconsin is on the bye week, which is perfect for them so they can get healthy, get all their players healthy. We work on the schemes for next Saturday night's game against the Oregon Ducks here in Madison, Wisconsin. And if you want to watch that game, of course, next week that is on NBC and Peacock as well. And let me see what the favorite is on the money line here on ESPN. Let's see. Well, I don't see that yet, but it's only 23.8% for the Badgers' chances of winning. So that's pretty slim. Can Gabriel and Lockett do well? We gotta find out. Looking at these games, Wisconsin only has the 2 losses, of course, last week. Of course, Iowa and then Penn State. Last week with Iowa and the week before that with Penn State. So there's only 3 wins out of 5. With all 5 wins for Oregon. But looking at the last 5 games, I see a few games in here that are like Mississippi State and Purdue and that are in Michigan. Those three are like somewhat trashy teams. At least, when I say about trashy, I talk about like their record, their strength of players, the strength and the strength, everything that it comes with, basically. Because we know Mississippi State has been good, but always been up and down, side to side, round and around. But my thing is Michigan. This last year, despite all the stuff that went through with Colin Stallions, and last year winning the big W, in the championship game against Washington, from that to where they are now, to me, it's really ugly. Because just looking at their record from Michigan, 5-4, they need one win just to get a bowl game. They just need one more win to get a bowl game. They got 3 games left for a chance for a bowl game. You know, the final game against Ohio State, that's going to be a win for Ohio State easily. Indiana should be the same thing for Indiana. The only team that possibly do it is Northwestern, for them to get a bowl game. If they cannot beat Northwestern, they are not going to get in for a bowl game themselves. Okay, that's what I got for the Big Ten and the SEC. Now let's do the lightning news, everybody. So let's pop the bottles, let's pop everything open and let's do it. Okay. I gotta get logged in here. Let me do this. I had to get my face there for a second. Okay, now, looks like, okay, of course, one of the things I did say that got right here, according to the Athletic, is, of course, the trade deadline. All right, let's talk power rankings, everybody. We got some good power rankings coming out this week. Number 10 okay, let's see. It's the power rankings. Let me pull that up. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'll need to figure that out. Okay, we have the college football playoff rankings. Predictions. Yes, that's right. Tonight on ESPN. I know we got the elections. I know we got results going to be coming in later on tonight. But make sure you at least watch tonight on ESPN. I think it's 6 o'clock, I believe it is, Central Time, to watch the first college football playoff rankings show. So make sure you watch that on ESPN tonight. I'm definitely going to check that out, along with, of course, the result of the election. But we do need that for sure. Let's see how that goes. Penn State, yes, we do know about Jason Kelce smashing a guy's phone. He did apologize last night about it, which I'm glad he did. There is investigation going on with that. But the only reason he did that was because he was defending his brother and his future sister-in-law as well. The trade for the Lions that I talked about, the Bengals traded to the Bears Kelly Herbert, and the Raiders hiring former head coach Norvell Turner as their offensive coordinator. Excuse me for a second, I get a sip of water. Hey, I'm talking for 11. I need water. All right, my whistle is back and ready. Goes what I said earlier about the Panthers trade with Jonathan Mingo to the Cowboys. And of course, the old Neil Cordeiro named the Ladies PGA Player of the Year. Congratulations. And the short USC to start. Jaden, okay, I need more water here. Hold on. There we go. Jaden Maiava. Maiava. At quarterback. That's why a shot named a new quarterback for UC to play against Nebraska, according to the Athletic. And it looks like Zuska withdraws from the ATP Tour Finals due to injury. Okay, that's what I got for when I got Going to the Athletic. Let me go now with the Bleach Report. According to the Bleach Report, let me read, see what I got that I can get. Okay, in baseball, the 2021 Cy Young Award winner. Wildy expected to clear $200 million in free agency to be a free agent. The Dodgers will favor Segura. Getting even more water here. And that's what you get from bucking in the sports industry, in your voice. And of course, Dak Prescott is likely and is on the IL, and he'll be out for several weeks. And of course, the trade deadline is today. Excuse me. And yes, Kevin Durant made a game winner, dropping 35 points to spoil Paul George's 76ers debut. You know what? That's all we got for today on the Lightning News. Everybody enjoy your week. I'll see you next week. We'll talk about the fallout of this week's games in the NFL and in college football. Until then, I'm Salabella with the Sports Variety Show. See you next time.